Dick Van Dyke is more than a name in entertainment history. He is a symbol of joy that spanned generations. For over 70 years, he brought laughter, warmth, and comfort into countless homes. His presence on screen felt safe, familiar, and deeply human. Whether through comedy, music, or simple charm, he had a rare ability to lift spirits. Yet behind that radiant smile lived a more complex story, one shaped by struggle, loneliness, and quiet resilience. This is not just the story of a beloved performer, but of a man who gave light to the world while learning how to navigate his own shadows. A childhood shaped by absence. Born in 1925 during a time of global uncertainty, his early years were marked by hardship rather than joy. Growing up during the Great Depression meant instability was a constant presence. His father's frequent absence and his mother's demanding work schedule left emotional gaps that could not easily be filled. The home was not filled with laughter, but with silence, a silence that felt heavy rather than peaceful. For the child, that kind of emotional distance leaves a lasting imprint. It teaches survival through adaptation, often pushing one to mask pain behind something more acceptable, like humor or charm. Laughter as a shield. From an early age, he discovered that making people laugh could shift attention away from his own inner struggles. Humor became more than entertainment. It became protection. By bringing joy to others, he could momentarily escape his own feelings of isolation. This instinct followed him into adolescence, where he gravitated toward the choir and drama. These spaces offered something he lacked elsewhere: connection, recognition, and purpose. Yet even in these environments, a quiet insecurity lingered. He was not naturally confident, and the weight of self-doubt often accompanied him, shaping both his personality and his future path. Searching for meaning. At one point, he even considered becoming a minister, driven by a desire to offer others the compassion he deeply craved. This reveals a fundamental truth about his character. He was not just seeking success, but meaning. He wanted to connect, to heal, to matter. However, uncertainty about his place in the world continued to follow him. He often felt like an outsider, unsure if he truly belonged anywhere. These early questions about identity and worth did not disappear with time. Instead, they quietly fueled his determination to keep searching for a path where he could feel both seen and valued. Humble beginnings in broadcasting. His entry into the entertainment world was far from glamorous. Working as a radio DJ in his hometown, he spoke to unseen audiences, hoping someone out there was listening. It was a solitary job, yet it gave him a sense of connection he had long desired. His voice became his bridge to the world. Even then, his focus was not on fame, but on reaching people. These small beginnings required patience and persistence, as recognition did not come easily. Still, he continued, driven by a quiet belief that his efforts might eventually lead to something more meaningful. Struggles on the road to recognition. In the late 1940s, he formed a mime comedy duo and performed in the small venues, often without much success. These performances were humble, sometimes overlooked, and rarely celebrated. The dream of stardom felt distant and uncertain. Life on the road brought more challenges than rewards, yet he refused to give up. Each performance, no matter how small, was a step forward. These years of obscurity tested his resilience, forcing him to confront rejection repeatedly. But they also strengthened his commitment, teaching him that persistence was often the only path forward in an unforgiving industry. The war years and quiet contribution. During the Korean War, his hopes of becoming a pilot were denied due to physical limitations. This rejection deeply affected him, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. However, he found another way to serve, through entertainment. As a radio announcer and later a performer for troops, He used humor to uplift others during difficult times. This role was both meaningful and bittersweet. While others fought on the front lines, he contributed in a quieter way, offering moments of relief through laughter. It was another example of how he gave joy to others, even while grappling with his own insecurities. Returning home, without a roadmap. After the war, he returned to civilian life without clear direction or stability. He moved between cities, taking on small television roles and hosting local programs. These jobs required improvisation, creativity, and resilience, often with little financial reward or recognition. It was a period of uncertainty, where success seemed just out of reach. Yet he continued to show up, to perform, to try. There was no guarantee that his efforts would lead anywhere, but something within him refused to quit. That persistence, quiet and steady, became one of the defining traits of his journey. The power of quiet determination. What set him apart was not immediate talent or confidence, but his willingness to endure. He kept knocking on doors that did not open, believing that eventually one might. This mindset carried him through years of struggle and doubt. He understood that the alternative, giving up, was far worse. His journey was not marked by sudden breakthroughs, but by gradual progress built on consistency. Each small opportunity added to his experience, shaping him into the performer the world would later embrace. It was a slow climb, but one grounded in authenticity and perseverance. From invisible to unforgettable. The boy, who once felt unseen, slowly transformed into a figure recognized and loved by millions. This transformation did not erase his past, but gave it purpose. The same sensitivity that once made him feel vulnerable became the source of his greatest strength. He could connect with audiences in a way that felt genuine because it came from real experience. His performances were not just acts, they were expressions of empathy and understanding. In making others feel less alone, he fulfilled a need that had once defined his own childhood. Conclusion: a legacy beyond laughter. His story is a powerful reminder that joy and pain often coexist. The man who brought laughter to the world carried his own struggles quietly, using them as fuel rather than letting them define him. His legacy is not just in the roles he played, but in the comfort he provided to others. He showed that even in the face of doubt, loneliness, and hardship, it is possible to create something meaningful. In the end, his life stands as a testament to resilience, the kind that turns personal wounds into a source of light for the world.